listen to me while I sing for you this melody. Do a song, I say what I have to say. Sometimes it's the only thing that helps me through the day. So many things on my mind. I gotta have a song that helps me unwind. If it wasn't for music, I don't know what I'd do. I say hard time, help me through. I gotta have a song. Well, yeah, bring me along. Yeah. Well, I gotta have a song. Well, help me carry on. Oh, yes. Time to lift him up. Oh, yes, oh, yes. Oh, for the rest of my life, I'll serve him. For the rest of my life, I trust him. For the rest of my life, I serve him. For the rest of my life, I trust him. So you've been so good to me. Oh, yeah. Come on, I say, for the rest of my life, I trust him. For the rest of my life, I serve him. For the rest of my life, I trust him. So you've been so good. What you gonna do for the rest of my life? Ooh, put your hands up together for the rest of my life. I trust him. Say you've been so good. For the rest, come on. Yeah, I serve the Lord. I
and turn it over to Sister Rose. Let's give her a hearty amen as she comes.
We're so glad for all of you that are here tonight, and we thank God for what he is doing and continually doing. God is so good. You know what? People better stay with God. When you leave God, you leave everything. Everybody knows. We all been in the world. We already know what it's like. We don't have to learn by coming with God and then going back. We know what it's like. We all been there at some point in time. And I said, you know what? If you really realize what you got and you value the pearl of great price, you'll never give it up. The man that found the pearl of great price, he sold everything so he could have it and keep it. And you can do the same. So we're thankful for that tonight. If you have your Bibles, turn with me to the 28th chapter of Isaiah. 26th chapter. Father, we're grateful tonight for your blessings and for all that you've done for us. And what a privilege it is to be in your house again. We thank you for your presence. We couldn't make it without it. It makes the difference in every day that we live because you're with us. We thank you because you work everything out no matter how difficult it may be. I pray, God, that you would help us to walk upright before you all the days of our life and serve you with a pure heart and love you with every atom in our being. We never give it up. And I praise you for it today. In Jesus' name, amen and amen. In that day shall this song be sung in the land of Judah. We have a strong city. Salvation will God appoint for walls and bulwarks. Open ye the gates, that the righteous nation which keepeth the truth may enter in. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee. Trust ye in the Lord forever, for in the Lord Jehovah everlasting strength. I want to preach to you a little while tonight. You know what? It's a time when the whole world is in a panic mode. They're scared. They don't know what's going to happen, where they're going, how this is going to work out. But you know what? He said here, but if you keep your mind stayed on him, he will keep you in perfect peace. You don't have to be running around frantic and panicking and can't sleep at night and all this stuff. It ain't worth that. It's not worth it. But you know what gives us peace is what we don't want. You say you can have peace all the time. Here, take this. Don't want it. Then you deserve to be miserable. So a peace of mind, everybody says, if I just had peace of mind, you can have it. But they run around everywhere else looking for it. It's right here. He gives it to you. You don't have to pay for it. You just take it. That's as simple as that. So when I looked at that, I thought, God, help us to get closer to you. The closer we get to God, the more peace that we're going to have. So peace of mind is security. It's sleep. It's blessings. It brings showers of blessings. You got to have it. I'm so glad that nothing, my grandmother was like that. Nothing shook her. Nothing. She was calm. I don't care what happened. It was the same. I remember the lady next door to us was trying to tell a lie on my grandmother, and my grandmother sits at the table like this. And she said, and I could turn you in and report you. You have anything to say? Not one thing. Didn't change nothing. She was the same when she got through lying. Went on out the door, my grandma was just at the table just like this. Not troubled about nothing. You don't know what living is until you get to the place you're not troubled about nothing. If it looks bad, it still don't change things. I don't care how hard the wind blow and the storm come, you stay the same. I'm not running around trying to look for cover when I can have it all the time. Why do I have to wait till the storm comes to look for cover? Just have it all the time. It's as simple as that. So peace gives you spiritual rest. It also gives, peace is, if there's any insecurity, peace will wipe it out. Jesus is the only one who can calm the pressure. Everybody has storms in their life, everybody, at some point in some time. So when the storm comes, do you panic? Or you run around saying, head done turned gray? Got 10 or 15 more wrinkles? Worried about how's things going to be? Oh my God. I don't know if, will the storm ever leave? You will have storms till you die. Always. See, the righteous cannot be moved no matter what happens. We're like the tree planted by the water. Nothing moves us. When I look at the chaos that's going on now, it makes me appreciate my salvation. It makes me appreciate it. Yes. Peace of mind is a mental state. When you look at some people, you can tell they don't have no peace. You think somebody just scared them. Calm down. My baby, Nisa was my baby at the time, and she got sick, and my grandmother always believed God for miracles. She never took any of her 10 kids, any of them, to the doctor. She raised all 10 of them, and they never had one drop of medicine. So the social worker came out and said, Miss Edmondson, we're going to have to take your children from you because you won't give them medicine. And my grandmother said, whatever you think. Didn't change nothing. She said to the Lord that night, if it's your will that I give up my kids, I'll give them up. But if it's not, I'm going to keep them. She said that night the Lord showed her a dream, and in this dream there was a room, and it was full of mother hens. And she said the kids were all over there. Baby chicks were everywhere. And she said she trying to figure out how each one of these hens knew who their babies was. And she said the Lord said to her when she woke up, as every mother hen kept her chick, God wants every mother to keep her kids. She believed God. She wasn't shaken by that. So they went forward to take her to court. She went on the court and sat there, and they was going down the docket for all these different people's cases that was there, and she was waiting on her name to get called. Never called it. She said she'd get up. The woman who took her walked side by side with her out the courtroom, never said another word. Didn't go through nothing, didn't make a big deal out of nothing. She just, I'm going home. Wouldn't even say a word. That's not normal. I'll take you to court. At least if your name ain't called, I'm going to say, we're going to get you next time. Didn't happen. So she said, if you dare to believe God, he can do anything. My little uncle, Claude Lee, at the time, I never met him because he died as a baby. But Claude Lee was born with a hair lip. I probably know what that means. And he had no roof in the top of his mouth. And so if he took milk, it would go up here and come out the nose. So she was asking the Lord to heal Claude, and she kept pulling on God, and he let her know he was going to take that baby. And she said, well, if you're going to take him, what I want you to do is heal him and make him perfectly whole before you do. The next morning, no cleft, roof of the mouth closed up, everything. You can have him, but heal him first. And he did it. So you can have it if you want to. Some people would have been running all over the place, scared to death. What's going to happen? They're going to take my children from Grandma. One word she said, just as nonchalant. She was that way all the time. But I sent my baby over to her house because Nisa was running a very high temperature. And I said, I want somebody to take my baby over to grandmother and let her pray for the baby. I forget how old she was. And my mother, she was a wreck. She always wanted this great faith, never had any. So she got my baby and took him over to my grandmother, and when she brought him, she said, Mama, the baby is running a temperature here. So she said, lay on the bed. Just as calm. That's so beautiful to me. You ain't going to rock my boat. So my mother's sitting there looking at her like, do you understand the baby got a temperature? She kept sitting by that thing. After a while, she went over. After a while, and my mother's just like, is she going to pray for it or what? Pray for the baby, said, take it home to Rose. Baby come back, no temperature, no nothing. No nothing. She believed God. She lived almost 80 years old and never, but she used to get irritated with people that didn't have faith. I said, Grandma, everybody can't have faith like you. Well, they should have it. So she would say, everybody don't feel that way. Well, they should. Ain't no excuse for this stuff. And one time she called the preachers at the church because my Aunt Irene had scarlet fever. You don't see that anymore. But she had scarlet fever. And she was so, that fever literally cooked her skin. My grandma said when she raised up out the bed, the skin was left in the bed. She called the preacher over and told him, can y'all come over and pray for my baby? Said, Sister Edmondson, the law says they're going to stop us preachers from coming to your house praying. She said, well, okay, goodbye. Prayed for that baby. She said the next morning, and Irene hadn't asked for nothing. She was so sick. Next morning, temperature gone. She said, Mama, give me some water. She gave her some water. From that time on, she lived a good old life. Died some years ago. But this is faith. People that don't have faith have no peace of mind. Because you're going to worry about it. Should everybody walk in that place? No. Not if you ain't got no faith, you shouldn't do it. But the people that's got it is exercising it. So I got used to my grandmother doing these type things, and I used to marvel at that. I thought, wow, this is huge. And God blessed her. But understand, you couldn't shake her no matter what you said, how bad it was, never changed. Looking the same way. And the woman got so mad because she couldn't shake her and caused her to get really upset. Even when she was raising me and my younger sister, if you did something she didn't like, she didn't yell or anything. She's gonna beat the crap out you. But very calm. So she would. I remember, and I'm getting on to this message in just a minute, more of this, but I remember I went to the movies in high school. Well, they didn't believe in going to movies. You were going to hell if you went to a movie. And so me and my cousin Florence, we decided that we're going to skip class and we're going to the theater. So we did. We got over there, and this man that was working in the theater lived across the street from us, but I didn't know that. So me and Florence went in there, and I didn't know there was a striptease thing on the thing. I just wanted to go to the movies. So we got in there, and here comes this man who knows my grandmother, and he said, I'm going to tell your grandmother that you're in this theater, because I know she don't allow this. I said, you got the wrong person. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, Granny, who is that? He said, I'm going to tell your grandmother. I said, you can tell whoever you want, but I don't know who you're talking about. I don't have a granny. Because everybody called my grandmother Granny. Everybody, all the kids in the neighborhood, everybody. So I told Florence, I said, why don't we move over to the other side of the theater? Moved over there. He comes over there and said, but you can't hide from me. He said, I work here. He said, but I'm going to tell your grandmother on you. I said, well, you can do whatever you think you need to do, but I'm not Granny's daughter. He didn't say nothing else. He left the theater from his job to go to my grandmother's house and tell her, your granddaughter's over there in that theater, and I know you don't allow that. She said, she's where? Yeah, she's over in the theater. Well, the thing was, back in the day, if you want to look like that you're in school all day, you go to your home room and you sign in. So if you skip classes all the rest of the day, it still looks like you at school all day. So we thought we were smart. So I got home, And she was sitting there, I smelled peach tree switches. She went all the way out to a friend of ours' house who had peach trees. And she went out there, got the peach tree switches, skinned it all off, rode the bus, mind you, come back with them, tied up with little strings. And so when I walked in the house, I thought, that's peach tree switches. So she's sitting in the chair like this. Rose, were you at the theater today? No, ma'am. What theater? I was a horrific liar. And so, but I had to try to save my neck. So she said, the man across the street over here came down and said that you and Florence was over in that theater. I said, I don't know what he's talking about, but I wasn't over there. She said, go in your room and get ready. Grandmother's gonna whoop you. Okay? Didn't get loud or nothing. So I run in my room and get a lot of newspaper, put it down my shirt, and because she's gonna whoop your back to death. Well, while I'm in the midst of trying to get the paper down my back, before I can get it there, she opened the door and said, what are you doing? Brought me out there, and the switches were long. They were long like this, so all she had to do was do like this. And boy, them things, they was painful. And didn't holler nothing. Don't do that no more. Don't go to the theater. You know grandmother doesn't allow that. Yes, ma'am. I was so mad. I was so mad. And I couldn't do nothing about it. But she never got upset. I wish I could say, all with my kids, I just said, what are y'all doing? I'm getting ready to break your neck. So never did. Faith in God made her calm. Nothing could shake her. So I think what you got to look at in your own life, what shakes you? Is it something really big? It have to be really over the top, or is it just a mouse ran across the floor? What is it? But be settled. Don't get all uptight. So peace of mind is a great way to reduce to stress in your life. Stress will kill you. Did you know that? Stress causes more physical conditions than many things. And people worry. And worry never solved anything. You might as well not waste your time when you get through worrying. You're stressed out. You got ulcers in your stomach. You're all upset, and nothing changed. That's why I say worry is a waste of time. Don't spend your time worrying about things. I don't worry about anything. He says, it reduces the day-to-day life and can help you to become a calmer, more relaxed person overall. This can lead to a happier life, existence. That I'm doing. How you doing today? Fine. How are you? How you doing? Fine. How are you? Did you hear about such thing? That don't bother you? No. Should it? I can't fix it. I can't change it. So I got to believe that if I want peace of mind, quit stressing things. Quit getting uptight over every little thing that happened in your life. So your husband walked in and said he wanted a divorce. Are you kidding me? When you get through getting upset, he's still going to get the divorce. Why don't you just stay calm? Stay calm. Listen, he is our peace. We get him, he's our peace. We can't do nothing but settle down, relax. My teacher, Miss Baskins, I'll never forget her. She's my 8th grade teacher. Ooh, I didn't like her. And all she said every time you come in the classroom, be cool, calm, and collected. Every day we come in the classroom, be cool, calm, and collected. And we all look at each other like, here it goes again. Be cool. Didn't understand what that was all about, but as you go on in life, you start realizing that I need to be quiet. Sometimes it's just quiet. Get away from all the noise and going running here and run there. Just get quiet for a moment. It's amazing how much better you feel if you just be quiet. Don't run your mouth nonstop. So when we have him, he made us who we are. He knows the things that would upset us. That's why he died and gave his life so we can have a good life, a free life, so we can be happy. He said, I came that you might have joy. and more joy. That's what I came for. I don't want you to be sad. I don't want you, but we choose other things. That's why we don't get to joy. But if we choose God, you have joy. You be happy. See? And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and mind in Christ. Now, may the Lord of peace himself give you peace at all times in every way. He will daily load us with benefits. He just benefits us with everything that we need. Get more, get more, get more. It's nothing like it. Awake thou that sleepest, Paul said. Arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee life. He will make you happy. He will make you fulfilled. He will fill every part of your life. Ain't nothing in the world like it, nothing. Listen. David said, I cried unto the Lord with my voice, and he heard me out of his holy hill. Selah, I laid me down and slept. I awake, for the Lord sustained me. Listen, how many times have you been so worried and so upset you didn't sleep all night? I just couldn't sleep. Why not? Oh, so much on my mind. Clear it out. Go to sleep. If you worry, you won't be able to sleep. You say, I don't know what's wrong with my stomach. Worry. Troubled. Constantly worried about how things are going to work. Don't worry about that. Listen. Whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quiet from the fear of evil. If evil's coming, still quiet. Trouble's coming. Some people, they better not get a cut in their paycheck. Whoa. You know they cut my check. I needed my money. You are not going to get it doing that. So when you get through panicking and I needed my money, they don't care. You still didn't get it. So why get upset? Now, if you having temper tantrums and it made a difference, we all should have some. But it ain't going to make a difference. See? He said, when thou passest through the waters, I will be with you. And through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. And thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon you. So no matter what happened, the fire burns, the floods come, all these things, I will be with you. Do we believe that? If we believe that, we won't get upset. We won't worry about it. But if you don't believe it, you ain't going to have happiness. You ain't going to have peace of mind. He's the refuge. Where do you go in time of storm? To a place of refuge. He's the place that you can go and camp out and everything will work out. It always works out. So, the more I looked at this, I thought, God, help people to wake up and quit worrying yourself to death. There was a man in St. Louis, Mr. Green, and my daddy said one time to me, he said, you see that man, Rose? He'll never die from worry. He said nothing bothers him. He just kind of walking around. When you see him, I don't care how many issues come in his life, never changed it. He wasn't even saved. Shame on the people that say you saved and you're panicking and can't make it. And I don't know what's wrong with me. People that worry wrinkle fast. You got wrinkles? You've been worrying too much. Yeah. That's where it comes from. Worry, hair gray, just everything is messed up. And I mean, it can age you 10 years beyond what you are if you worry. For in time of trouble he shall hide me. In his pavilion, in the secret of his tabernacle, shall he hide me. He shall set me upon a rock so nothing can get to me. He exalts me. He puts me up a little bit higher. Thou shalt hide them in the secret of thy presence. From the pride of man, thou shalt keep them secretly in a pavilion from the strife of tongues. I'll take care of you and take care of you. No matter how many people talking about you, lying on you, I'm still going to take care of you. He does a good job with it too. In the fear of the Lord is strong confidence. And his children shall have a place of refuge. Are you his children? You got a place to go. You don't have to get uptight. Stay calm. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it, and we are safe because we go into the tower. So we can get away from all this other stuff. That's preserved for you and for me. Let's take advantage of it. Get in that place. I'm telling you, life is sweet if you'll stay calm and take it one day at a time. You know what kills a lot of people? We worry about what's going to happen tomorrow. Then we leave tomorrow. I'm concerned about next week. Well, and next month, that sounds like things are going to be different in a month. They said they're going to lay people off on the job. And I'm scared. You know what you worry about? None of it may not never happen. There's nothing worse than worry. And they say, I worried all that time for nothing. And then they come in and say, you're not going to be laid off. Now, you done got ugly and tired and worn out and everything else. All going through all these changes and didn't even have to do it. Nothing is worse than you fearing something that you never had to fear. You never had to fear. When I was young, I was very young when I got married. And I used to say all the time, boy, I hope me and my husband, we never get a divorce. I don't want a divorce. I don't want that. I bet you, the first 5 years of my marriage, I don't want a divorce. Little did I know he wasn't going anywhere. 34 years later, he was still there. So why did I go through all that needless worry? And I used to say, Charles, do you love me? Yeah, honey, I love you. A few minutes later, Charles, do you love me? Yeah, I love you. A few minutes later, Charles, you love me? You talking about insecure. He said he got tired one day. He said, Rose, I'm here, ain't I? If I'm here, don't worry about it. Yes, I wouldn't be here if I didn't love you. You'll be surprised when you're young. It's so beautiful when you start getting older and maturing. That's a good thing because you get wiser. And things that used to bother you when you were young don't even faze you anymore. And then there's some people, they worry till the day they die. That's a horrible way to live your life. You shouldn't live that way. But make up in your mind, look, I think this week I'm going to change that. I'm going to change it. And I'm going to become the person that is calm. The minute you say I'm changing, everything that can go wrong is going to go wrong. Because it wants you upset. Worrying about this. Worrying about that. Come on. Say, I hope the people in this church will finally get to the place that no matter what's happening in your life, that I'm at ease. My husband used to say that to me. He was in the military. He'd come home and say, I'm talking about something that upset me. Be at ease, Rose, at ease, at ease. I said, don't tell me no more to be at ease. I got so tired, at ease. I said, I'm not your soldier. I'll keep hollering, at ease. But that's what I need to do, be at ease. It's okay. Listen to this. And when he entered into a ship, his disciples followed him. And behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, in so much that the ship was covered with the waves, but he was asleep. Can you imagine this? There's a storm out there, and the waves are so high, they're covering up the ship. And look what they did. And the disciples came to him and woke him up out of his nap and said, Lord, save us, we perish. You can't perish with Jesus on the ship. Is he on your ship or not? If he's on your ship, rest assured. You ain't got to worry. The ship can't go under with him on board. He controls. Then he arose and rebuked the wind and the sea, and there was a great calm. But the men marveled, saying, what manner of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him? Man, he went out there and told the waves to be quiet, be still, and they just calm right down. That's the way he'll do the things in your life the same way. He said, peace, be still, just go calm down. Yes. Another thing I remember, he said, let's go over to the other side. Well, how you going to go over to the other side if you're scared to death that you're getting ready to drown? Lord, you better, hey, wake up. It's dangerous. Go down there and wake Jesus up and we're going to perish. He said, oh, ye of little faith. Do you realize who's on board? You're not going to do it. But you know why you worry? He's not on board. He's not in your life. You're busy with everything else and worrying about this and worrying about that. Just learn to live. Live today, one day at a time is what we all should do. Yes. So I'm not getting ready to lose it, okay? Yeah, it's storming out there. When it used to storm at home, had a lot of thunderstorms. And Grandma said, get somewhere and sit down, the Lord is working. And we didn't have no time with that. We went just like that. Niece's little dog, we try not to never leave him at home if we know a storm is coming. He's a nervous wreck. He don't know what's happening. So niece always worries about him if the storm comes and we're gone, that he's going to be upset. And go in the house, he don't know it was his father just talking a little bit. And after my grandmother told me that's God's voice, speaking like thunder. And the lightning, the flashing of his eyes. Can you imagine eyes that can flash like that all across the sky? Sometimes it's lit up. This is a great God we serve that can do anything. You want to find an unhappy person, find one that have no peace. And they want to burden you with it. Have you been thinking about it? No, I haven't. It's been really bothering me. I don't know what we're going to do. Honey, don't worry about it. Honey, what do you mean don't worry about it? I got to worry about this. Something's going wrong here. No, I'm not going to worry. You're not going to change anything. Listen, I hope that we get to a place that we have such a peace in our minds that everything's going to be all right. The storm is there. The wind is blowing. It's got very turbulent winds and all this, but it's okay. How can you say, but it's all right? All is well. I don't have to worry. God is in control. He knows how to take care of me. He's not getting ready to come and thunder and lightning and put me out on the street. People are scared of that. I had a neighbor years ago when I was at home. That woman was so fearful. It was started lightning and thundering. Well, I called her on the phone. She said, "Hello, I don't talk to nobody when it's lightning and thunder." Real fast, I don't talk to nobody when it's lightning and thunder. I went down, I said, "What's wrong?" "Oh, honey, I don't talk on the phone." Mm-mm. I said, "What? You could get struck." Oh, no. She was scared to death. But you got to understand, all of that is God. Are you scared he's going to hurt you? He's not. Now, I'm going to be quiet because I respect him. But am I running scared? No. There's no reason to be scared. He's taking care of it. Have you ever been in the bed at night and it started thundering and lightning and you was laying there quiet, all of a sudden your room go, and you say, looking at that. Wow. Oh, did you see that? Yeah, we saw it. You gonna panic? No. It's okay. So, God wants to do for you what you'll let him do for you. Let him do it. Give you peace of mind. Rose, you don't have to worry. It's going to be okay, in spite of everything. I've never thought one time when a crisis come in my life that I would make it. I knew I would make it, though difficult. Yet it has its difficult places, but I knew I would make it. He said, I know I'm not going to make it. You sure won't. You done told yourself already you ain't going to make it. And you believe it. What a tragedy to even go there. See? So, when you worry about something and you don't even know if it's even going to happen and you still worry, because I was just thinking. I told somebody, remember, I said, don't think. Every time they start thinking, they get depressed. Because they think themselves up on a bad situation. They think themselves, this is really bad. And I said, well, you think that's right? Oh, yes, it's really bad. And ain't no telling what could happen with that. Do you know all the stuff that could happen? Do you know all the stuff that might not happen? We never want to give it a positive ring. Somebody was talking to me the other day, talking about, boy, you never know. I said, I don't have to. If you want to know, go ahead. I don't have time. I don't know about tomorrow. I don't know about next week or nothing. I told my kids when me and Charles went to Florida for our last vacation. Think about this. And we think God ought to tell us everything. No, he shouldn't. We should know everything. It's not good. Suppose he had told me that when you come back from vacation, your husband's going to die the next day. We wouldn't have had a great vacation. I'd have been worried the whole time. Worried to death. No. This is what the Lord said to me on the platform before we left. He said, when you come back, your life will never be the same. I thought, wow, God's really getting ready to do some great things. My life will never be the same. So true. Never the same. You're talking about a dark hour. Very dark. You're talking to your husband this minute, he goes to the bank and never come home. And I remember inside work, when I told him about a dream I had before I came, I said, Charles, I dreamed when I got home, I had to preach a funeral. He usually always said to me, you think it's me? He didn't say that that time. And so I said, it's probably going to be Thelma, because Thelma had cancer and she was in the hospital. So I thought probably that's what it's going to be. I get a phone call. Are you Miss Banks? Yes, I am. Could you get to the hospital right away? Yeah, what's wrong? Is Charles Banks your husband? Yes, ma'am. Could you get to the hospital? I said, yeah, but what's wrong? She said, we'll tell you when you get here. Then my daughter come over and said, Mama, do you think something bad with Daddy? I said, I don't know. So I went back to the mirror, combing my hair, and saying to the Lord, these are the words I said, you wouldn't take him away from me, would you? He never said a word. It's the strangest thing about God. He's not a person of many words. And the thing that you think he's going to say something about, he's not saying it yet. But he will speak. So I get to the hospital, there's a chaplain in there. And there's my husband hooked up to life support. What's wrong? Your husband is brain dead. Brain dead. I knew what that was. Because we had watched it when they on the TV when they was talking about President Nixon. He had a blood clot, and he was brain dead. And I said and the chaplain said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah." At this moment, I am so stunned, totally stunned. And Daisy was in the room before I got there. She's always been real nosy. So she got there first. And so when I walked in the room, she told the chaplain, you need not worry about her. She's not going to lose it. She's not going to get upset. So I walked in, he said, Miss Banks, you know what it is, brain dead. He's dead. We put him on life support. I said, you got to take him off life support. My husband made me promise him nobody would ever hook him up to life support. He said, well, I can't do it today. I have to wait at least 24 hours. And I remember going back in that room and leaning over the bed the next day, because I left the hospital, went to the church to pray, asked people to pray for my husband, and I still was calm. I didn't think he was going to die. I didn't think he was dead. And I went home and got on my knees to pray. I came here first, and I figured, everybody here, I can't pray, I got to go home. So I went home, got on my knees, got Charles's picture in front of me and said, God, he never got in your way. He always supported me in the ministry. Never got in the way. Surely you won't take him. He didn't say nothing. Next morning, I run back to the hospital. He's there, and my daughter was irritated because my daughter told the nurse, said, he moved his hand. She said, baby, that's involuntary. That he's not moving his hand. And Nisa got mad. He's not dead, his hand is moving. That's because you want it that way. So when I got there, I realized, I got started praying. I said, Lord, I said, I was in the room with just me and him, and I said, God, I said, you're not gonna take him, are you? Say nothing. But when I started praying, a steel wall came in front of me. You could not get through that if you tried. I'm taking him. I'm not letting him stay. Here it is. You can't get through. And I kept trying to pray. You couldn't get through. So I said, okay. My son called me from the Navy. He said, Mama, don't let him go. I said, I can't keep him. When I got down there, I said to him like this. I said, Charles, you can go on. I'm going to be okay. You never have to worry about us. We're going to be okay. Well, they say they always can hear. They can't respond, but they can hear. And about that time, tears run down his face. I said, I'm going to be okay. And I left that hospital. Of all people, I met Amos. Coming down the hallway, I was out of it. I grabbed Amos in the hall, of all people. Laid up on Amos' shoulder and just cried. I guess Amos said, what's going on? I'd have never went to Amos crying. He said, I came to the right person. But I just, difficult. But did I make it? 25 years later, I made it. Yes. So you can make it in time of a dark hour in your life. When it looks like you can't see the sun, a ray, nothing. It's so dark. 4 years later, my 29-year-old daughter died. I didn't grieve her. The Lord had talked to me about it. He said, I'm going to take her because I'm going to take her that she might be saved because down the road she won't be saved if I leave her here. So I'm going to take her. So I knew what it was all about. I didn't know that with Charles, and I rested in that. I remember coming over. We were working out together on the outside, and she said, Mama, you know when the Lord is coming? I said, no, baby, I don't know when he's coming, but it'll be soon. She said, okay. I just want to hurry up and go to heaven. She wasn't feeling too good. Everybody thought it was the flu, but it wasn't. And when the coroner finally gave a report, he said, there is nothing showing through the autopsy that anything should have killed your daughter. Nothing. There's not one thing that should have brought death. How is that? Because God said, I'm going to take her. I don't have to have a reason. I'm going to take her. And I preached her funeral. I preached my husband's funeral. And then 2.5 years later, no longer than that, 20-some years later, my daughter died at 54 years old. God have mercy. Dark, difficult. It felt like you can't go through this. What is this? She's well, she's healthy. Just been at church that night leading the service and worshiping God and everything. That next day, all over. That quick. It's hard to comprehend some things that will happen in your life, but I tell you what, if you got God, you can go through anything. Anything. Don't let anything say, don't ever say, I would never be able to make it. Yeah, you can if you got God. You don't know what you're going to face. You don't know what tragic or what crisis is coming in your life, but I tell you one thing, if you got God, you can make it. Yours may be something else. You know what I thank God for? That my husband and my girls didn't die a violent death. You know what? Because they could have been killed in an accident. But look, they died in a way that you wouldn't have to worry. Because my 54-year-old daughter, she had a massive stroke. I went to the hospital. I didn't believe she was going to die either. I never started thinking, I bet you she's going to die. No, I never believed it. So when the emergency room doctor came out and said, Miss Banks, can I talk to you? Sure. Your daughter, what happened to her is fatal. I said, you don't know what he's talking about. That's what I said. I went on back out there. I thought, no, God's not taking her yet. He don't always tell you what he's going to do, but he did promise to get you through anything. Anything. Give you peace of mind that you don't have to be so disturbed until you can't live anymore. I thought, sure, I didn't want to live when Charles died. I prayed that God would please take me to heaven. The pain was so bad. But he stayed there with me and walked me through it. Got me through it. And he'll do the same for you. Whatever your crisis may be, God will do the same for you. Yes. So, don't worry about next week. Live today. If I had known my husband was going to die, we'd have had a miserable vacation. But we had one of the best vacations of all of them that we ever been on. And we were talking about it that night and sharing with each other all the fun we had. But what if I had known ahead of time? No. I knew when the Lord called me to more prayer in the morning, add an hour prayer to what you're praying. Because I got to prepare you for something. If we serve God, he will prepare you. Doesn't mean you won't have pain. Doesn't mean you won't feel it. But he'll fix you in that. Help you to stand tall. When I came to preach my husband's funeral, the guy from the funeral home said, Rose, we'll set a chair at the head of the casket. I said, I'm not sitting down. Why I got to sit down? He said, well, you don't know if you might pass out. I said, I'm not passing out. Are you kidding me? I thought Jacqueline Kennedy could walk behind her husband who was assassinated and walk behind it. I surely can stand in the pulpit and preach. But he said, I was worried. I thought, she don't understand. I said, yeah, I did. I told him, I said, if you go before I will preach your funeral because nobody can tell the story like me. Nobody. If you want to be able to go through the valley, you're going to have to go. There's valleys, dark days. The scripture says, Solomon said, let a man rejoice because his happy days will be few. But the trouble will be many. So if you live long enough, you're going to go through some things. Feel some pain. Be betrayed by people. People you trusted. People you thought were your friend. Don't lose it. And don't say, I'll never trust nobody else. No. Everybody probably ain't like that. Give people a chance. I give people a chance all the time. And I'm telling you, for the most part, you would think the things that I faced in ministry, I wouldn't trust none of y'all. It's a fact. But it ain't that way. So you can take comfort in the fact that the only people I was worried about was my kids. How they're going to get through this. And I prayed a lot for them. And we talked. I don't want you to get nothing in your heart against anybody. It destroys you. It don't destroy the person. So think about it. You can go through it. We comfort each other. Talk about it as a family. And God has given us grace. For I've been in the Springs now 40 years. And he has brought us this far. Tonight, don't think about what might happen. It's a waste of energy and a waste of time. It makes you very insecure, full of fear. How can this be? You take nothing from this. Take the one thing. I can be secure in God. I still can have peace of mind. I still can walk through this valley. I still can do what I got to do. I'm going to be okay. It won't feel like it at the time, but you're going to be okay. The grace of God is sufficient for every person in this building. I don't have to worry. If you're a worrier, say, I'm getting rid of you tonight. I ain't worrying no more. Now, if you're a worrier, that's not easily done. You'll tell yourself, and pretty soon, well, what? You said you wasn't going to worry no more. And immediately, you find yourself uptight. You said you wasn't going to do that. It's a habit. Break it. So I'm going to keep peace. I'm going to stay happy. I'm going to stay strong. And you can. I'm going to enjoy my life. We don't have many days in this world. I used to say to my kids all the time, I said, if I die tomorrow, I had a good life. I lived it to the fullest. I enjoyed serving God. This is the best thing that happened to me. And in spite of everything else, I've had a very good life. Can you say that? I said, my life sucks. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. Now I got up this morning, it's just a sucking day. Don't live like that. You don't want to live that way. Because your whole day is messed up. You declare it to be a sucking day. Oh, it's Monday. Monday's like any other day. The day the Lord has made, we shall rejoice and be glad in it. So, you declare when you get up in the morning, I'm not worried about anything today. Somebody's looking at you saying, just wait. Give her 5 minutes. It ain't long much. What? Can you believe this? Being in the ministry, my poor kids, you know what they did? They said, don't answer that phone. It ain't our problem, it's somebody else's. The phone rings after a while. I said, hello. What is it now? I felt sorry for my kids because they wasn't called for this. I was. I said, y'all have to take it anyway. And Kendrick got so bad, bless his darling heart. And that's that Kendrick. This is Kendrick up here too. He wouldn't answer the phone. His mother's gone from the house, and we called. She said, he's not going to answer that phone. I said, well, why wouldn't he answer the phone if he's at home? She said, he don't want to answer the phone, maybe a church person. I said, tell the kid to answer the phone. Because every time, and Christine was really a problem. Michelle's mother. Woo! Hello, how you doing? I don't know what I'm going to do today. Well, you can start here. No. And you get tired of this conversation. But she had a mental problem. As I'd be preaching to the people and tell them, we're going to start a fast tomorrow. She come to the desk. Did I hear you say we're going to have a fast? I said, yes. I have a birthday. What about my birthday? I said, well, Christine, you can have some cake when you come on. But tomorrow's my birthday. Okay. She would get so upset. But you know what? We were used to her. We knew this is what she's going to do it. And sometime right in the middle of preaching, I know not to take that call. Not to take it. But we loved her. But in spite of everything that's going on in your life, learn to accept it and be happy. I'm going to be glad. I'm going to be glad. Boy, you wake up feeling so good. Say, how did you sleep? I slept like a horse. You stayed awake? Honey, I stayed awake all night. Why? I couldn't sleep. Every time I thought about that what could happen next week, I just couldn't sleep. Go to bed. Let next week take care of itself. Okay? Have peace. Say, God, I need your peace. It's the peace that surpasses all understanding. It puts you in a good place. So try it. Put it on. This is good for me. And quit believing everything bad in your life is bad for you. Some things bad in your life is good for you because they teach us something. So we go in difficult times. Those times are teaching us how we can go through something and still be happy. Don't come to church looking like, you say, honey, you okay? Can't even talk. Well, what's wrong? I don't know. Everything can go wrong and gone wrong today. People on my jobs getting laid off and they lay you off. No, but I figure I'm next. Don't figure that. Maybe figure that you're going to stay. That feels better. And then if they let you go, you'll be all right, find another one. That ain't the only job on the planet. So I can find something else. Remember this next week, because you're going to wake up Monday morning, and the things I'm telling you about right now, rest assured, you know what, you wake up in the morning, and the phone rings. Hello? You said what? Talk to yourself. Calm down. Calm down. Don't let it get to you. When our phone rings, it could be anything and anybody. Of course, everybody don't have my phone number, thanks be to God. Few people have it. You have to get a call, come bring a call somewhere, come to get to me. But if I had it, one time I gave my phone number to the wrong person. Call you in the middle of the night. Thinking, baby, I have to sleep. My sister, I have a mentally retarded sister, and I got my number, but I changed my number after that. She kept calling me at 3 o'clock in the morning. Hi, Rose. Can we say hi a little later in the day? So I told her, I said, Hannah, I said, don't call me in the middle of the night. I said, because sometimes I just went to sleep. I was up praying, and I just went to sleep. Okay, then. Next night. Rose, I just called to tell y'all that I've been shot in the head, so if you're wondering if I'm okay, somebody shot me in the head. I said, well, how are you talking? She's been shot in the head. I said, well, who shot you? Some man down there where we used to live, you know, on Cass Avenue. Well, they shot me in the head. I thought, nobody shot Hannah. I thought, I'm changing this phone number. And then she asked the other family member, you got Rose's phone number? I said, do not give my number to her. She will wake you up all night long. It's unnecessary. Because now that's going to work my nerves. I got time to rest here. So you look at your life after tonight and say, when you go home, tomorrow is a new day for me. I'm going to start thanking God that this is a good day, and whatever comes my way, he's going to keep me with peace of mind and get me through this difficult time. And he will. Peace be still. Peace be still. No matter what's happening, if you can do that, boy, you can make it. You can make it. Okay? And you won't look so old. And it could cause you to lose all your hair, too. So I don't know what's wrong. My stomach hurts all the time. Just indigestion. But be sure you ain't eating wrong to do that. But worry will cause all those issues. So you want peace? Serve God. That's right. Serve him. He gives you peace of mind.
I'm glad that man, he didn't let teardrops fall. You know what? I know he'd find joy in every tear that I shed. Oh, see, and I'm glad that man didn't make heartaches. Cause I know he'd give me more. He'd give me more than I could bear. Oh, see, and I'm glad that man, he didn't create me. Oh, Lord, for one day. Man, he surely forsake me.